Hello and welcome to my channel. My name is Jordana and this is what it is. Working title still. Beginning to create a space where people can come together as a community and experience a stepping stone towards the highest version of themselves, which is love. And I haven't even started drawing the cards yet, but I have a vision that that is going to be the theme of this reading. And that is guided by, I've been reading for a couple hundred days now, A Course in Miracles, and reading through that. And today's lesson is God is but love, and therefore so am I. I will step back and let him lead the way. God is but love, and therefore so am I. I walk with God in perfect holiness. God is but love, and therefore so am I. And the way that I experience God is that God is the eternal flame within all of us. Because the universe is simply a mirror. So the same spark that created the mirror created us. I'm super excited to see what comes up, to experiment as I see what's happening. The way that I read is I do mind, body, soul lines, past, present, and future. It's like a grid, like playing tic-tac-toe. If you can visualize that, I realize I'm a faceless channel so far, but that's where I'm at right now. Already it's looking to be really interesting. I'm really excited to share with you what is coming up and what I'm seeing in this. Then I also additionally read runes every day. So that all of this is how I guide myself along the path of entrepreneurship and spirituality and learning to be an empowered creator of my existence and a conscious creator of my existence, being really aware of who I'm being in every aspect of my life and working on a consistent basis to break old patterns and collapse old paradigms that I've been living in so that I can become the highest version of myself, which is love. In the first position, past position of the mind line, we have the Prince of Swords in reverse. The Prince of Swords in this deck, I read the Handel deck, and he is Osiris, depicted as Osiris. The story of Osiris is the essence of deliverance came in his spirit, but he was cast off into the boat and was reborn. There is a sense of needing to have a mental rebirth and a mental reset, recoding the way that the mind interprets life. Because in the present of the mind line is the sun in the upright position. That is showing that there is this journey being undertaken and that the light is shining on that journey. Even though there are thorns along the way and there are difficulties, that there is this path being illuminated. And in the mind line in the future position is Three of Stones, which is work in reverse, which is work, but it is showing up in reverse. There is, to me, a need to understand that the work that we undertake doesn't have to be hard, that there is a need for it to have joy, and that there is a need for it to be easy at times, especially in the world of entrepreneurship. Because when you step outside of the normal realm of existence, you have to approach work in a different way. You're being asked to discipline yourself And you're being asked to move your life consciously towards what you want. And in the body line, 4 of Cups in the past position, the mixed blessings of life, the seasons of life, the ebbing and the flowing, the living and the dying. These are all emotions that are going to have to be alchemized through the body in order to create this solid foundation. We have the King of Stones, the King of Pentacles, in the present position of the body. And that is finding a foundation of abundance within. And building a foundation requires discipline and balance and harmony. And it requires work. It requires sometimes dismantling the old paradigms that have been in place for so long that they're disrupting the flow of energy and disrupting the flow of creativity in your life. Because when we don't allow ourselves to be creative and we simply put ourselves in the position of the consumer, we are showing ourselves a lack of love because we're not allowing ourselves to express ourselves to the highest expression and the fullest expression of ourselves. And in the future position of the body line is the 7 of Swords in reverse. Uselessness is the theme of the 7 of Swords. By finding the journey within one's own body to be the real work that one must undertake in order to complete this journey or to continue this journey without reservations, this disturbance, letting these things go and transmuting them, those energies, those old energies that stay stuck in the body, whether it's through putting your feet in the grass and allowing your energy to be transmuted, or going out and touching trees and sharing energy with them, or being in the sun where the sun can burn away in old impurities so that you can be reborn. Because in the spirit line, the emotions in the past position, we have the Queen of Cups in reverse. And so that emotional blockage keeps us from our spirit because it is focused on the pain and the suffering rather than the rebirth. The central position for the present moment of that spirit line is the star, is the rebirth, is the trusting the universe to be unfolding towards the highest version of yourself at all times. And with the Prince of Cups depicted as Parsifal coming in the future line of the spirit, that is the journey of the self. The journey back to oneself, to see oneself as God and as the creator. Because when you do that, you accept full responsibility for who you are being. You have to accept full responsibility for who you are being. You can no longer pretend that life is just happening to you and you just call it fate, but really it's your old conditioning. In the general theme of the whole reading is the 6 of Pentacles, success. And that comes through aligning mind, body, and soul. Allowing your mind to understand enough of the esoterica that you can understand how to work with the universe and move towards what you want. And one of the ways that I read is any cards that come up in reverse, I like to change them and transmute them right in the reading, unless I feel like they are more valuable to me as an energy in the reverse. I'm leaving the 7 of Swords in reverse because that sense of uselessness and that sense of disconnection from oneself is passing. These readings are timeless. Because energy is timeless. It cannot be destroyed. It can only be transformed. Whenever you're tuning in, let what aligns with you sink in. Let go of whatever doesn't. Resonance can be passing, as we grow and evolve, the music of life changes. And so we resonate on a different frequency. And whatever doesn't resonate, let it go. But in my interpretation, this reading is definitely asking for an allowance of love towards oneself so that one can experience the full range of emotion. Because when one allows themselves to experience the full range of emotion, one gives themselves the clarity and the freedom to channel their energy towards their desires. Because if you reject parts of yourself as bad or less than or limited, you are in effect compressing your energy. And you can see your mind and your being as an energetic container. Your body, your energy goes beyond your body. Your electromagnetic field extends beyond your body. What happens when we suppress our energy is our energetic field becomes smaller and we become more dense because we're living through fear rather than love. We're restricting ourselves. We're restricting our energy. And when energy is restricted and compressed, it becomes more difficult to direct. It becomes erratic. And we start sending out energy in waves of anger or disappointment, entitlement, expectation. Expect the best always, because that is how you train your mind to consistently move towards your vision in an upward spiral, in an opening rather than a closing. But understand that when you make expectations upon circumstances, people, or things, you begin outsourcing your power. But it's up to us every day to call our power back into ourselves, to call that energy back into ourselves and to root it down into our being so that we can move from a place of centeredness and a place of grace with ourselves. I'm going to pull some runes, and the runes come in a cross. It's general situation, past, present, past, future, the foundation, the obstacle or the challenge, and then the point of growth, the highest truth. And I love reading these runes because this was my mother's book and I made these runes for her. It's been passed down through my lineage already and will be passed down even further. And I'm still learning them. I do read parts out of the book, but I try to just keep the interpretations open. In the central position is Degas, which symbolizes breakthrough, transformation, and day. It is it's the final rune that belongs in the cycle of self-transformation. And when you draw it, it shows that there's a major shift or transformation happening within the process of self-change. There's the sense that there's been a 180 turnaround and things are really starting to move in alignment because the timing is right. Divine timing has come into play here and the outcome is assured, although as depicted again in the sun, it's not predictable. You can't predict how life is going to go. You can only respond from a place of power or react from a place of fear and disempowerment. And because Degas further on in the future position is followed by the blank rune, the magnitude of this transformation is so enormous that there is a sense of death to it. Either a dying of an old self, a complete transition into a new way of being. And this is introducing, which is redefined by the Six of Stones, the Six of Pentacles. It's introducing this abundant period in one's life. And it portrays that daylight is coming back and that light is returning, and that is depicted also by the star. But it also gives you a notice to not collapse into the highs or the lows, because that place of neutrality, the place of awareness and observation of what is happening in your life without reacting to the external, and keeping that flame within oneself so steady that no matter what happens around you, you remain in line with the truth of who you are. And that always comes from within. The external can never tell you the truth. Only you can decide. Because there are no truths. All truths are half-truths and are subject to the perception of the receiver. With Tewaz coming in the past position, there's a sense of there being an overwhelming need in the past to be a warrior. And that battle that the warrior undertakes, the spiritual warrior, is always with the self. And you have to be able to source your own power and fund the will of your life while being unattached to the outcome. Because the sun already shows that positive outcome, as long as one continues in alignment. The natural reciprocity of the universe for doing your highest work is abundance, is flow, is grace. This is asking you to cut away the extraneous, cut away the old, cut away the dead parts of yourself that no longer serve your highest good. Because that discernment is what gives you the clarity, the discriminating quality within yourself to say, I no longer resonate with this part of myself or this part of my life. And I can discern that it no longer serves my highest good. Or even things that come along in the path of life, you need to have discernment, because not everything and everyone is on the path to your highest good and put there to help you. You're asked to look within and to find that sense of wellness and wholeness and oneness within, and to understand what your true deepest needs are so that you can share them with the world. And that active principle of moving towards conquest in life should or could be seen as the conquest of self. That awareness and that single-mindedness and the willingness to undergo your passage, the Prince of Cups, Parsifal, the quest, without anxiety and in total trust. It's remaining unattached. Whatever you're going through, whether you're building a business or you're experiencing challenges in a relationship, even if it's just the relationship to yourself, the way out of that is to focus on the gifts and the gratitude. Because what comes in the future position of this rune reading is Gebo, which is a gift, which is the gift of love. And in order to receive love, you must first give it to yourself so that you are able to pour from a full cup and you are not depleting yourself and performing in order to prove your worth. That relationship always starts within. We always have to give ourselves first that which we wish to receive. And then we're able to turn that out into the world and give that love out to the world from a place of wholeness and not a place of needing. There is an indication of a partnership or a union at hand in this reading. And there's success in it, and there's joy in it, and there's rebirth in it. But again, it's not collapsing into that relationship, that external, without first recognizing that the first love that you need to have is towards yourself. towards God, because God is within you. If you reject the God within you, you are rejecting yourself. Coming directly after that is another change rune, is Jera. And Jera shows a season. It shows the planting of the seeds and being in a fertile season and sensing that sense of fertility within oneself, trusting, being in total trust that the harvest will come through, and not checking the 3D, not pulling the seeds up and checking on their progress, but just cultivating your own inner dialogue and your own inner reality, planting and fertilizing that soil with good thoughts and good energies and good vibrations. Because that recognition of your own process is how you, without judgment, without deciding that you're not far along enough, or that you might not still be worthy of the things that you desire. That is leading you towards a harvest within oneself, the cornucopia, the heaven within, the giving yourself the feeling of the abundance before it even materializes, because that is, in a sense, how you attune yourself to that reality. In the obstacle position, or the challenge position, is Berkana. And Berkana is all about growth, rebirth. Again, the star, a birch tree, letting the old skin peel away that you can become new. And it's a rune of cycles, of transformation. And again, the fertility that promotes growth symbolically and actually. You must fertilize the soil, plant the seeds, but then you can't forget about them. You have to water them, you have to tend them, you have to pull the weeds. You have to nurture them into being. What is called for is to go into the thing deeply, with care and awareness, to be concerned within yourself of how you are influencing the development and the flow of everything that you are bringing into being. Learning how to disperse the resistance within yourself, and then doing the work. Again, re-emphasized by the Three of Stones. Doing the cleansing work, clearing out the old, bringing in the new, and practicing modesty and patience and being helpful, and seeking help if you need it, seeking the guidance and learning how to cultivate the virtues of that which you wish to see materialize in your life. And following it all up in the future position is the blank rune, Odin, returning to the tree of knowledge, returning to oneself and recognizing the sense of God within. And understanding that the future truly is unknown, and that it is a gift in every moment. Going back to Gabo, if you look at life as a gift in every moment, then you stay truly present. You're no longer using your perceptions to decide the outcome, but you're allowing it to flow into being. And you're allowing yourself to trust, to have total trust, and allow yourself to be excited by that trust, to see life as an adventure. Parsifal is the fool, is another version of the fool, setting off into the unknown, but with a sense of joy and a sense of, I will fulfill this, relinquishing control. That is our biggest challenge as spiritual warriors, entrepreneurs, lovers, friends, parents, human beings. How do we continuously relinquish the need and the attachment to try to control things? Because when we do that, we cut off other options. We begin to constrict the potential of our lives. Keeping a sense of curiosity and play within yourself as you undertake the challenges and the obstacles and the journey of life. This is all a journey of becoming. It's all a journey of the path to the total sum of oneself, to wholeness. This entire reading just really points to taking heart and loving yourself and finding that fullness within and trusting the process that you are always moving towards your highest self. That truly is the greatest gift that we can give to humanity, is to become the fullest versions of ourselves abundantly and to live life so richly. And I don't mean in a material sense, just so richly and full of joy, that is the ripple effect that we send out into the world, and that we begin to transmute the pain and the sorrow and the suffering that happens through our awareness of what is working. That's how we build momentum. You don't build momentum towards what you want by focusing on the problems. We can get into how people like to argue and argue for their limitations. But I have total trust in me and the universe and God that is within me, that is reflected in you because we are one, that you also are able to transmute everything in your life into the highest version of you. I'm so grateful to be on this journey with you. And I'm so grateful to meet you along the path. And I know that everything that we are bringing into being is for the highest good of humanity. With that, go with love out into the world and allow yourself to express and to rejoice and keep planting good seeds and keep trusting the process, because you've got this. And I'm sending love always and in all ways.